An 8-point gap forming between automatics and playoffs just 11 games into the season. 2 teams dishing out 4-0 thrashings away from home. And 1 team going a whole calendar year with just 1 win at home. It could only be the Championship, couldn't it? Match 11 is complete, so here's this week's quickfire Championship roundup. Let's start with the sacking. Birmingham won their 4th West Midlands derby in a row on Friday night, coming from 1-0 down to West Brom at home to win 3-1. And that's despite winning just one of their previous 5 matches. John Swift opened the scoring just 5 minutes in with a beautiful low-driven effort from 25 yards out. That's his 6th goal of the season. But his goal was quickly cancelled out, with a controversial penalty being awarded to Birmingham after Kipra and Miyoshi both slipped into one another inside the box. Bakuna converted the penalty, and a Sanderson header gave the Blues the lead on the 38th minute. Birmingham found a 3rd goal with a beautiful Gardner free kick on the 87th minute. West Brom slipped to 11th on 16 points, and to make matters worse, top scorer John Swift had to leave the pitch with a calf injury on the 76th minute. Now, despite Birmingham ending the weekend in 6th place, they've now sacked John Eustace, with Wayne Rooney lining up to be the new ownership's first managerial appointment. It's a risky business making this change, but I can imagine there'll be a fair few clubs eyeing up Eustace themselves. Now let's talk about the thrashings. The Saturday lunchtime kickoff looked to be an enticing match, with Sunderland going into the match with 5 wins from 6, and Boro on 3 successive wins after a tough start to the season. And it did not disappoint. A closely contested first half ended with a Dan Neil sending off. He received a 2nd yellow for dissent after saying something to the ref. No one's quite sure, but clearly enough to get him off of the pitch. Down to 10 men in the second half, it did not take long for the floodgates to open, with Greenwood, Jones, Crooks and Force all running rampant and getting a goal each. That's a 4th straight win for Boro, who moved to 16th, and a 4th loss of the season for Sunderland, who remain in the playoff spots in 4th place. Gareth Ainsworth led QPR to the unwanted record of 1 home win in a full calendar year in Saturday's 4-0 home loss to Blackburn. Blackburn themselves had lost 4 in a row coming into this match, but 2 first half goals from Dolan and Sigurdsson in the space of 5 minutes put them well in control. By 66 minutes, a 2nd goal from Sigurdsson and 1 for Smodic himself put the game well out of reach. QPR have now taken just 2 points from the previous 6 matches, having won 2 of 11 all season. They remain in the bottom 3 and the pressure is mounting on Gareth Ainsworth. Blackburn rose to 13th with the win and will be hoping this is what they need to turn the corner of their form after the international break. Swansea continued to turn their season around with a 4th successive win away at Plymouth, themselves now just 1 win from 5. Ex-Swansea loanee Luke Cundall gave Plymouth the lead 18 minutes into the match, but Swansea fought back in the second half. Jerry Yates equalised with a tap-in before Ollie Cooper took the lead with a 25-yard effort just seconds after coming on as a substitute. Josh Key sealed the win on the 90th minute, his 1st goal for the club. Swansea rise to 12th place while Plymouth sink to 18th, now just 3 points above the relegation zone. Right, on to Premier League clubs in waiting, ? Ipswich extended their unbeaten run to 7 matches with a 4-2 home win against 3rd place Preston. That's created an 8-point gulf between 2nd and the playoffs, just 11 matches into the season. And not only that, but it's also kept them in a 2-point touching distance of Leicester City in 1st place. Top scorer Connor Chaplin took the lead on 18 minutes for Ipswich, but it was cancelled out by Mads Jensen just 10 minutes later. But Ipswich would charge back into control by the end of the first half, with an impressive Brandon Williams solo goal on 35 minutes, and a Nathan Broadhead tap-in on the 1st minute of stoppage time. Preston pulled one back through Ben Whiteman on 52 minutes to set up a nervy 1-goal lead for Ipswich in the second half. Ipswich's impressive return to the Championship continues, and they've now scored a minimum of 2 goals in 15 successive home games. Leeds moved into 5th with a 2-1 win against Bristol City, completing back-to-back victories at Ellen Road following their 1-0 defeat of QPR on Wednesday night. After a winless opening 4, they're starting to find some consistency with 4 wins from the previous 6 games. Jorginho Rutter got his 2nd assist in a row when he found Dan James in the box on 37 minutes. Bristol City had few chances in the first half, but Naismith managed to find a leveller on the 4th minute of added time. But it took Leeds just 8 minutes to take the lead back, with summer signing Joel Pirro, their top scorer, claiming his 5th goal of the season. Joint Leicester City top scorers Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy both scored to keep Leicester top of the table at home to Stoke. A crucial win with Ipswich showing no signs of letting up the pressure. Iheanacho found the bottom corner on the 24th minute, and Vardy came off the bench to seal the deal on the 79th. Stoke showed very little promise of retaliation with just 1 shot on target in the whole match. That's Stoke's 6th loss in 8 matches, leaving them looming over the relegation places in 21st and heaping more pressure onto manager Alex Neil. And our final section for today's video, of which there are many, the stalemates. Millwall and Hull shared the spoils in a 2-2 draw at the Den. Duncan Watmore took an early lead 8 minutes into the match, but the hosts were caught out by 2 long balls in the space of 5 minutes, with Jayden Philogene and Adama Traore both finding the net. Joe Bryan rescued a point for Millwall in the second half, scoring on 54 minutes, his first goal for Millwall. Still unable to string together back-to-back wins, while Hull move up to 9th. Watford prevented 3 successive defeats with a 1-1 draw away at Cardiff. Despite a number of Cardiff injuries, including top scorers Atete and Aaron Ramsey, the Bluebirds took the lead on 26 minutes, with defender McGuinness turning in the ball from a corner. Watford had chances themselves, but poor decision making and passing in the first half really let them down. Cardiff clearly had some sympathy though, with goalkeeper Alnwick taking a terrible first touch from McGuinness's back pass and offering the ball up on a plate for Bio to equalise. They nearly offered Watford a second goal with a careless pass from Wintle to Tom Ince, who skied his shot. Cardiff are now 8th place on 17 points, while Watford move up to 20th place on just 10 points. Norwich haven't enjoyed life on the road this season, with a 1-1 draw preventing them from gaining their second away win of the season. The first half was very open, but Norwich took the lead on the 41st minute, with Jonathan Rowe turning in Jack Stacey's pass. Coventry kept pushing, having 21 shots to Norwich's 5, but it would turn out to be a Norwich player, Gibson, who would turn the ball in for Coventry when a Coventry cross bounced off of his head and into his own goal. Coventry stay 13th, while Norwich have moved up to 7th. Darren Moore received a warm reception at Hillsborough on his return for the first time since his summer dismissal. Neil Thompson took charge of Sheffield Wednesday after Xisco Munez's sacking in the week, and they had multiple close chances but really couldn't find the quality that they needed to take the win. Sheffield Wednesday are still yet to win this season, remaining rock bottom, and the Terriers themselves are just 3 spots above the relegation zone. Still winless in 4 under Darren Moore, on the back of a midweek thrashing away at Birmingham. And finally, Jordan Hugill rescued a precious point for Rotherham away at Southampton in the 74th minute after Stuart Armstrong had took the lead for the home side just 2 minutes into the match. After 22 efforts, 10 on target, against a side that has let in 22 goals, the most in the league this season, Southampton will surely be scratching their heads how they didn't get the win. A third win in a row would have landed them in the playoffs, and although a point away at St Mary's is a good coup for any team, Rotherham now find themselves 4 points adrift at the bottom of the table. Right, there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any thoughts on this weekend's matches, do let me know. This is the first time I've done a video of this kind. I'm looking to do more championship wrap-ups in the future, so if you've enjoyed the format, if there's anything you'd like to see, if there's anything you didn't like, let me know. I'd be really keen to hear. If you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.